Hello and welcome to The Big Fight. I'm Nidhi Razdan. What a week this has been. The Congress-JDS government in Karnataka is hanging by a thread. The Congress has also seen a spectacular collapse in Goa, losing 10 of its 15 MLAs to the BJP. And here in Delhi, the party has no clue who its leader is after Rahul Gnadhi's resignation. 7 weeks after the election results, the country's grand old party is facing an existential crisis. And then there are the regional parties who enjoyed a dominant period in the coalition era before 2014 and actually seem to be the only ones giving a real fight to the BJP state by state. But look at their situation today. After winning just 5 seats, for instance, in UP, Akhilesh Yadav, the head of the Samajwadi Party, disappeared and went abroad, only to return to India a couple of days ago. Lalu Yadav's RJD, under his son Tejwaswi, got 0 seats in Bihar, which is a first for the party that has been a powerful regional force in the state. Tejwaswi has also been nearly AWOL most of the last few weeks. Maywati didn't do that much better either in Uttar Pradesh with just 10 seats. Chandrababu Naidu's TDP is also unravelling very quickly. 4 of his 6 Rajya Sabha MPs have recently joined the BJP. The only parties that to some extent withstood the Modi wave were the DMK, the TRS, the BJD and to some extent Mamata's TMC. But here too, the Trinamool is facing a strong challenge ahead of the Bengal assembly polls. Even the BJD isn't very comfortably placed. They did well in the assembly elections, but the BJP did very well in Orissa in the Lok Sabha election. And then there's AAP in Delhi, which didn't win a single seat. Now, with this massive mandate for Modi and what seems to be an opposition that is withering away, are we heading towards one-party rule? That's the big question on The Big Fight. And let's take a look at how dramatically India's map has altered in the last 5 years and how the BJP has surged forward and the Congress's footprint in particular has actually come down. The Congress was in power in 13 states in 2014 and has now been reduced to just 5 states. One of those, by the way, is Karnataka, which they are also on the brink of losing. Let's begin straight away with our panelists this evening, and as always we will give all of them a 1-minute opening statement before we open this up for debate. We begin with Ashutosh, former journalist, politician, now political analyst. Ashutosh, are we heading for one-party rule? Your 1 minute starts now.
I think it's heading in that direction, but the situation is that the country has seen coalition politics for a very long time, because when Congress party came into the power in 50s, then there was no opposition per se, because everybody who was with the national movement were with the Congress party. So a few people left Congress party, formed their own political parties like JP and the Lohia, but they couldn't form and they become very powerful. The left were the only one who were very powerful and they formed the government in Kerala. What is happening right now is that now there are the regional aspirations, the regional chhatrap, the regional political parties who are very entrenched in their states. BJP certainly has emerged as a very strong force and almost replacing Congress system. We can call it the BJP system, but the kind of surge which Congress has seen after at least till 60s until 70s, where they used to get more than 300 seats, 350 seats, 365 seats, even 400 seats. I doubt that BJP can reach to that stage, but there is a serious...
Your time is up. Your time is up and you made your point very eloquently. Mamata Kale of the BJP is here with us. Mamata, your 1 minute starts now. One-party rule?
See, it's not about one-party rule. It is not about even, whether BJP is unbeatable or not. It is about acceptance, respect, faith and belief, which the people of India has shown in the leadership which BJP has given them in the name of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi ji and in the party in particular. And we have seen that faith got resulted into one side and landslide victory for the BJP in 2019 after seeing their work, their performance, the good governance and the strong leadership for past 5 years. Now when we talk about the opposition, the voter of India rejected the narrative based on lies, and thereafter after the people of India who rejected them, now their own people, their own legislators, their own cadre is rejecting them. They have no faith, no belief, no trust in their leadership. I will not be wrong in saying, in fact now it is a bitter truth that there is no leadership left in BJP, in Congress party. I'm sorry, they don't have a party president.
All right. Time's up. Saurabh Bhardwaj, Chief Spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Your thoughts? Are we heading towards one-party rule, Saurabh?
I think it's a kind of Modi politics which he had pursued in Gujarat for 15 years. What he believes is that, there should be a one-way narrative from Modi and he can tell all kinds of facts and figures which are nowhere related to reality. And in his kind of politics, he doesn't want anybody to challenge your facts and figures, which are obviously wrong. So he doesn't want media to say it, he doesn't want people to say it, and he will not let any opposition say it. So the only way of, gagging opposition is buying MLAs. And we have shown it in 2014 on camera how BJP was offering our MLA 5 crore rupees. Their state vice president Sher Singh Dagar offered us, and he was trying to lure our MLAs. So it is a very open secret, but the problem is now there is no sense of immorality which is attached to buying MLAs for money. It has become a new normal in a new India, and it is really unfortunate for the country.
Time's up, Saurabh Bhardwaj. Professor Geeta Bhatt is with us. She's a supporter of the RSS. Ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, Nidhi, you see, for any political organization, its dominance or, its presence depends upon the kind of support it has from the masses in a nation. Now, if any political party per se, time and again, there have been times we have seen, if you look at the timeline of the political history of this country, again and again, there have been political parties who had, a very strong leadership and, a strong organizational base, and also a commitment towards, welfare of the people, giving importance to national security, national interest. And if one political party, which is offering all that to people, they have gone and, given their mandate to that. So I think when, when people are trying to question the mandate of the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, it is basically questioning the voter of this country, because they are the ones who have given this mandate.
All right. Well, Tehseen Poonawala is a supporter of the Congress party. Tehseen, your 1 minute starts now.
Nidhi, your question is, are we heading to a one-party rule? That was your basic question. I am not worried if there is a one-party rule based on meritocracy. The problem in the one-party rule that is happening today is the subversion of every single institution. Mr. Modi kisses the constitution and says, look, opposition must be strong, I will hear the voice of everybody. Yet, through illegal, not immoral, through illegal deeds, he's buying out MLAs. And through this program, I will prove it on your program. The point is, the Election Commission once revered, Saurabh and I were there. And the Election Commission as an institution is lying, saying we allowed you to challenge the EVM. They did not. Saurabh and I were there. So there is an institutional decay. If it was one party winning on merit, nobody has a problem. But I want to tell Mr. Modi one thing before my 1 minute gets up. तुमसे पहले जो वो एक शख्स यहाँ तख्त नशीन था, उसे भी अपने खुदा होने का इतना ही यकीन था. So this is India. We will fight. This is Tilak, Gandhi and Nehru's India. We will not apologize and write love letters.
All right. All right, your time is up. Well, Dr. Shruti Kapila is with us. She's a Cambridge professor, currently actually on a sabbatical and writing a book on Indian democracy, which I'm sure will be a blast. Your 1 minute starts now.
Well, the short answer is no, I don't think we are headed to a one-party system. For a start, Modi has a huge responsibility for this mandate, for preserving plurality, sharing power with the states, as well as, in fact, preserving the rule of law, quite apart from policy initiatives. So that in itself is a huge challenge. But secondly, I think it's an exciting moment, it sounds counterintuitive, for the opposition to actually reinvent itself. So we're in 150th year of Gandhi's birth centenary, and I think non-violence, patience, love, lack of hatred, these are amazing ideas with which Gandhi fought people not just like Churchill and the British Empire, but also Stalinism and fascism. So I think Gandhi is the way forward, and I think there should be a luxury in the opposition party today to actually go back to basic ideas rather than constantly thinking about the torjor and the number crunching that is going on. They should accept the mandate.
All right, your time is up. Well, very interesting ideas put forward by the panelists today. Let's open this up for debate. So, Ashutosh, let's take it from the top. Shruti Kapila says that this is an opportunity for opposition parties to reinvent themselves. But look at what has happened in the last 7 weeks. We just talked about all the big leaders who have disappeared, from Tejwaswi to Akhilesh, and the Congress mess speaks for itself. So who's going to take this bull by the horns and start this reinvention?
See, I can understand that the opposition is shocked. Opposition is basically paralyzed. Look what Congress party is doing, what Akhilesh is doing, and what Tejwaswi is doing. And these were three leaders which everybody thought they will emerge as a better leader in coming days. But I am I'm not pessimist. Not pessimist for the simple reason because a crisis throws its own leadership. Like in 2011, the country was thinking that in 2014 the Congress will come back again. A movement started and the new leadership came in. Anna Hazare became a talking point. Arvind Kejriwal became a talking point all over. So whether the Congress comes back, whether the Congress reignites its ideas, whether the Congress reinvents itself, I'm not worried. I'm sure that the leadership will come up. If not from the political parties, somebody will come up and somebody will take the bull by horn.
Then what are you worried about?
I'm not worried about for the simple. I'm only worried about that the kind of politics which is pursued by Mr. Modi and RSS and their ideology, that is taking country to back. And I'm only thinking about that. What is the new India? Is it new India that where people are not safe, the minorities are not safe, the Dalits are not safe, and you and me are not safe, and we are told you can't wear this kind of clothes, you can't wear that kind of clothes, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, and if you do this, you will be lynched. That's my only worry. I'm sure the country has the resilience. This country has survived for thousands of years. It has a great civilization. This will survive, but this will survive only as a wounded
Let me get
civilization.
Mamata in on that. And Mamata, about the criticism of the BJP's tactics, for instance, in Karnataka and Goa, and the allegation that the opposition, whether it's the JDS in Karnataka or the Congress, Rahul Gnadhi has also said that the BJP is using money and muscle power to take, Congress MLAs away. Is that the kind of politics that you think the BJP would want to be remembered for? Power at any cost?
Nidhi, firstly, जिनके खुद के घर शीशे के होते हैं वो दूसरों पे पत्थर नहीं मारते. तो कांग्रेस पार्टी का तो इतिहास रहा है कि उन्होंने ये काम किए हैं. If you talk in 67, 77, 96, every time they have done this, and there are a lot of leaders who have gone from their party at that time. That time Modi ji wasn't there, Amit Shah ji was not there. You talk about Arjun Singh. There are a lot of other leaders, who left Congress party and they went. Now the problem here is, if we talk about Karnataka today, when soon after the Karnataka elections got over, the same Rahul Gnadhi who used to speak nonsense about JDS, as soon as the election got over, he was with them. And the student, I would say, who stood third in the race with 38 seats out of 222 was given the bumper prize of becoming the Chief Minister of Karnataka by the racer who finished at second position, having 78 seats out of 222. Why? Why? Because they wanted to keep the number one racer away from the first position, saying that we want to keep these forces, these bad forces away.
So you're saying it's okay then for the BJP to try and break them now?
No. BJP is not doing that. It is their will. Now you yourself see the condition of the Congress today. They have no leadership, Nidhi, where they don't have the president. Now they are actually not able to find a president. Rahul Gnadhi has gone, left. Now who's the next person? There is a political paralysis. There is a political bankruptcy in the Congress. Who do these people look up to?
By the way, you make an excellent point there about the Congress's vacuum, but just to remind you that the way the Congress and the JDS came together after fighting with each other in the campaign, so did the PDP and the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir. But Tehseen Poonawala, the point that Mamata Kale raises, that are you going to place most of the blame on the BJP for weaning away Congress MLAs or opposition MLAs, or does the heart of the problem lie with the party, which doesn't know what it's doing at the moment?
That's an excellent question, Nidhi. Thank you, and I want to answer that. But before I address that question, you asked Mamata ji a question, और उनका आंसर था, उनका जवाब था, आप इतिहास में देखो, कांग्रेस ने 67, 77, 97 अन्य उन्होंने डेट दी, कांग्रेस ने ये सब किया. अब मोदी जी मेरे वजीर आजम है, माय प्राइम मिनिस्टर, he says I am building a new India. Modi ji should have told me the new India is exactly like the old India. He should have said. फिर हम देखते 280 सीट और 303 सीट मिलती, ईवीएम के मेहरबानी या नहीं मिलती, वो अलग डिबेट है. मोदी जी कहते एक बात है, करते एक बात है. हाथी का दांत दिखाने के अलग होते हैं और खाने के अलग होते हैं. मैं उस डिबेट में नहीं घिरना चाहता. I don't want to fall into that debate. Now let's come. So they justify the illegality with the illegality of the Congress. How are they different? Now let's come to what she said. I agree with everything. There's a crisis in the Congress. I would be a fool to say there's no crisis in the Congress. Of course there's a crisis in the Congress. But does the crisis allow, on 10th February 2019, the Honorable ex-Chief Minister of Karnataka, Shri Yadurappa, to admit on the floor of the Karnataka Assembly, yes, these tapes of buying out MLAs for 25 crore rupees is my voice. This is recorded on the floor. Is illegality allowed? There is another tape released by the present Chief Minister of Karnataka, Shri Kumaraswamy, and they haven't sued for defamation. He says, sue me for defamation. Yadurappa ji in his tapes is alleging buying out Supreme Court judges. Supreme Court judges, not High Court. There's a tape. What is happening? And when I come to my earlier point and my first point, if this is one on merit, I am okay because Modi ji is my Prime Minister. The fact that you have these sort of illegality, a private plane of a BJP MP is used to transport MLAs, and they are kept there, 20,000 per person per room for 20 days. Almost 40 lakhs is spent there. It is your money, Nidhi, Mamata ji's money, my money and Saurav's money. Somebody needs to answer that, and we will ask that question.
Mamata, quick response, and then I'll come to Geeta.
You know, I just want to tell my friend, you cannot keep your house in order. Your house is not in order. Why are you blaming BJP? Your own people. Let me finish. Let me finish.
मैंने कोई गलती की तो आप illegal काम करोगे. मेरा घर ठीक नहीं तो आप आके मेरा घर लूटोगे.
मुझे अपनी बात खत्म करने दीजिए.
ये आपका
This is your intolerance. I apologize. This is what Congress is all about. This is what Congress is all about. This is what Congress do. This is the DNA of Congress. What can I do? They don't even let others speak.
What about the specific points he raised about the buying of MLAs?
No, it is about you keep your house in order. There is nobody who's buying the MLAs. There is no one who's buying the legislators. It is their legislators who have no faith in the democracy of the party, in the leadership of the party, in the complete narrative of the party. They are the one who are leaving and going. Be it Goa, be it Karnataka, they are the one who are leaving the party. They don't want to stay in the party.
Who's paying for the private jets? Do you know?
Who's paying? This is who's paying for the private jet is what, Nidhi? They are the one who are going by their own free will. Why can't you see this? They are going
so much on
that
the
you need
private
to ask them. Why are you asking me?
So the
beauty
beauty
ask them. Please go and ask them. Please go and ask them. You have to ask them.
Ma'am, Yadurappa ji's PA was escorting an MLA in the private jet. One MLA. This was
one of the
and when you lock up, you saw what happened in Karnataka. You locked up a MLA, and there was a fight.
Okay, Professor Geeta,
what are you talking?
Geeta Bhatt,
come on. The problem with the opposition is that they want that people should trust them, while they themselves do not trust each other. And Karnataka is, the kind of mockery of democracy which is taking place in Karnataka. I mean, imagine that 11 or 13 of MLAs, they are saying they are giving in writing to the police commissioner saying we want police protection, we do not want to meet our political leadership from Congress party, there is a threat to our life, and it is still these MLAs which are being questioned. And what Tehseen ji was saying that I don't want to go back into history. Yes, he wouldn't like to go back in history because there are so many times when the subversion of people's mandate has been done. Let us not forget in 1984 what happened to Nandamuri Tarak Rama Rao, to their party in Andhra Pradesh. I mean, we do remember that photograph you can still find in the archives when all his MLAs are being paraded in front of the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and while Mr. NTR, who was not keeping well, he was being taken in a wheelchair just to show that he still has the support. That time what Congress was doing, what Bhajan Lal with his 50 Janta MLAs,
the BJP make the same mistakes of the
so
Congress?
there are no, all I am saying is there are n number of such examples which
or
can
just
be quoted.
follow.
But the point is why no one is questioning the speaker, when someone is giving the resignation and the speaker is coming out and saying that there is a technical hassle that I cannot accept. I mean, the Supreme Court has to intervene, it
has maintained status quo till Tuesday.
The Speaker of Karnataka
but
Assembly for days together is coming out and saying that there is a technical glitch.
But can I ask Saurabh, are opposition parties, in a sense, or those who have not done well in the elections, throwing up their hands and saying it's all about the buying and selling of MLAs and that we are not sort of going to put our own house in order? Isn't it a mix of both?
I think it's a mixed responsibility. Yes, Congress is responsible for keeping their house in order. We were a very small party in 2014. Modi had won with a huge mandate. The Delhi's assembly was in animated suspension. They were buying our MLAs. Our MLA rate was 5 crores to 10 crores. and we did a sting of
कर्नाटका में
BJP.
तो 30 करोड़ की बात हो रही है.
There is 50 crores. They have reached till 50 crores. And this is all your money and my money. And regarding that speaker's thing in Karnataka, the law is very clear. The resignation of an MLA should be voluntary and genuine. Here the MLAs are sitting there in hotel of Mumbai. I think they are somewhere in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Hotel, 5-star hotel. They are holed up
they are
there.
back. Can I just say
Obviously, it is not voluntary. Obviously, it is not genuine.
They went
Anybody
on
who
their
is
own.
watching,
They went there
and
on their own.
Supreme Court, let
Nobody
me say,
took them away.
and I want
It
to
was their own
remind,
decision.
and let me say it on record, Supreme Court has no business
Yes.
to interfere. No business.
said.
It is the Speaker who will decide, and Supreme Court is basically encroaching into the domain of legislative when they say that you give us the report, whether you accepted the resignations or not, it's nobody's business. That's why, Supreme Court couldn't do anything.
What about the
to
bigger
it.
question I'm asking you about how the opposition has to deal with this?
I think opposition has to be, they have to be more cautious. They should train their MLAs to make sting operations of BJP, BJP leaders, because they are buying it only with money.
Why is Shruti Kapil?
There is nothing other than money.
I mean, I just think, this is so Aam Aadmi Party. It made a mockery of Gandhi by turning him into a set of gimmicky politics. What is required is actually a moral force. And that cannot be made in the immediate future. This is why I use the word politics of patience, right? Now, the BJP is going to have to be held responsible for any overreach of power it does. Let's go back to Nehru. When he first tried to topple the Kerala government the first time with the help of Mrs. Gandhi, what happened? The CPM, the Communist Party came back with a big majority after that was done. So I think BJP ought to also learn that such overreaches, whether they are about corruption of power, of money, or of force, this is not actually going to work for them in the long term. But I think for the opposition, the question is that actually that its lawmakers should not be indulging in this kind of personality politics. It should actually depersonalize politics and actually start thinking about how to institute a new moral vocabulary which resists this kind of overreach of power.
That sounds great, but Ashutosh, is that possible?
It is possible. I'm sorry. I mean,
I think it is possible.
I think it is possible.
Do you think it's possible?
Politics by nature is amoral. I will not say immoral, but politics by nature is amoral, and that's what has been taught altogether. Look at the case that now the BJP wants to prove that since Congress has done it, so I have a logic of justification, so I'll also do it. And if anybody points a finger, I'll say Congress has done it, so I'm also doing it. Let's not play holy cow. What has happened in Arunachal Pradesh, everybody knows how that was overturned by the Supreme Court. What happened in Uttarakhand, it was overturned by the Supreme Court. And when the Karnataka verdict came out, everybody heard those audio clips by the BJP leaders, including Yedurappa's son and Yedurappa, openly bargaining, openly luring, openly asking for money. I'm not saying the BJP is to be blamed for that. Congress has done it n number of times. Now BJP is in power, so BJP wants to break Congress party, to finish Congress party so that they can rule longer. But I do not agree with Kapilaji. There is no morality in politics. Let's not live in any kind of illusions. There is no morality and no party, because this is the BJP which used to talk about Chal Charitra and Chehra. This is the BJP used to talk about the Suchita. This is the BJP whose government was toppled by United Front government, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee sat on a dharna in there. This is the government which has been, this is the BJP which supported Mayawati, Kalyan Singh was there. How big was the Mayawati's government? And now BJP is pointing finger at Congress and JDS. So this is the nature of politics. This politics will continue.
Mamata,
whosoever is powerful will attack and will break opposition.
I have two quick points to make. One, what I said, that when these tall leaders of Congress left Congress, और ये सच बात है कि जब कांग्रेस की सत्ता गई, तब कांग्रेस पानी में बही. Be it 67, 97 or whichever year. Murarji, Arjun Singh, Sharad Pawar, ND Tiwari, all of them left. उस समय अगेन आई एम सेइंग कि मोदी जी और अमित शाह जी तो नहीं थे और उसके पीछे बीजेपी नहीं थी, तो व्हाई ब्लेम बीजेपी? ऑल आई एम सेइंग इज लुक इनटू योर ओन हाउस. Please put things in order. Do your own things and why blame us? Don't play this blame game.
Are you saying Mr. Yediyurappa is not on those tapes?
Second, what I am trying to say about Karnataka is, if JDS and Congress was so good, so honest, and they were so wanting the good government there, and they really wanted a stable government, Kumaraswamy could have actually gone to governor to dissolve the house. He could have taken the representation and asked him to dissolve the house, and he would have been duty bound. He would have dissolved the house. No. What did he do instead? He dissolved his own cabinet. Why? Because he wanted that time
But he has the democratic
to
right to do
manipulate
that.
and buy
He
those
doesn't need to
MLAs, his
dissolve the
own
assembly.
MLAs.
That is- that-
So
that
they
is
are
not-
the one who are doing wrong
That is not
practices. They are the one who are
correct.
doing something wrong.
That is not
So why can't he
correct
do?
when
He could have
13
done this.
That is not constitutionally correct. I do not agree with her. When 13,
No, it is
14
correct. It is correct. He could have done it.
Let me
He could
complete,
have done
ma'am.
it.
Let me complete, ma'am. When 13, 14 MLAs have already deserted, has gone somewhere else, has expressed their reservation, that means the government has lost its mandate. And even if the chief minister had gone to the governor and requested him to dissolve the house, then governor was not duty bound to listen to him. Governor could have only said, go to the go on the floor of the house, prove a majority and come back.
But this unrest has been there from the day one.
Ma'am,
In
please let me
Karnataka, the
complete.
unrest
Ma'am,
has been
please
there
let me
from
complete.
day one.
They would have, yeah.
Mamata's logic is very simple. That आप अपना घर संभाल नहीं पा रहे हैं तो हम आपके लोगों को खरीद के अपने घर पे रखेंगे और उसको
Absolutely
उठाएंगे.
wrong. I disagree.
That's what
I
exactly
disagree.
has
Stop
happened.
blaming others.
See,
Stop
operation-
blaming BJP, Ashutosh ji.
people in
अब
Karnataka
आपके
know
घर
that
में
what
किसी
is
को छींक
Operation
आएगी तो आप
Lotus.
बीजेपी
No,
को
no,
थोड़ी
no.
ब्लेम करोगे.
ममता जी, आपको
आशुतोष जी.
do you challenge the clip which is available?
आशुतोष
No,
जी.
do you challenge the clip
आशुतोष
available?
जी,
I'm
आज
just
जो
asking.
भी हो रहा
I'm
है,
just asking.
ये जो भी
Just
हो रहा है,
asking.
किसकी
Do
गलती
you
है?
challenge the
किसकी
clip
गलती
available?
है?
Do you challenge the
आशुतोष जी,
clip?
आप मुझे ये बताइए ना, किसकी
Don't give this
गलती
moral
है?
lecture.
किसकी गलती है? It's not about
But
moral
he's asking
lecture.
you what I asked you.
Are you denying
Are you
audio
saying
clip?
Mr.
Are you
Yadurappa
denying
is not
audio
on
clip?
those
No,
clips?
right,
Are you
Ashutosh
saying
ji.
Mr. Yadurappa is not on those clips, talking about spending money on MLAs?
His son is also there.
He's on record in the assembly saying I did
So
it.
are you saying he's not?
He's on record. Assembly records पढ़ लीजिए.
असेंबली रिकॉर्ड पढ़ने या नहीं पढ़ने की बात नहीं है, बात इस बात की है, बात इस बात की है, बात इस बात की है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी आज अपना काम क्यों नहीं कर रही है.
We have shown
मैं बताता हूँ.
We have shown their clip. Man is still in their party.
अरे भैया आप ये बताइए जो आप बोल रहे हो कि कर्नाटका के लोगों को के एमएलएस को पैसे दिए,
मेरा नाम
आप और केस में कन्फाइन किया है. Did he call you up and tell you? कर्नाटका वालों ने, I am talking about
जानता हूँ
कर्नाटका.
आपकी हुकूमत है तहसील मेरा नाम है. अगर आप इजाजत दें.
own wrong
अगर आप
narrative.
अपने आशिक
एक मिनट,
मुझे
it comes to the same point I asked Saurabh as well. Sure, you can put the blame at the BJP's doorstep up to a point. But the fact is that you don't have the party that you support doesn't have a leader today, and the crisis gets exacerbated in situations like that. I mean, do you think it was okay for Tejwaswi to just disappear after the the Lok Sabha election, for Akhilesh Yadav to saunter off for 6 weeks? I mean, what does it tell you about the state of the opposition?
I'm coming to that. Just a couple of quick clarifications. Ma'am, number one, you spoke about the Honorable Governor. Whether the government is in majority or no, not the Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court can decide, neither Nidhi can decide, nor Tehseen can decide. It can only and only be decided on the floor of the House. Here, as of today, the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka is saying, I want a floor test, I have a majority. Why is the BJP, which claims to have a majority, running away, running to the Supreme Court, running here, running there? I am saying the proof of the pudding is in the eating, the proof of the dhokla is in the eating. Do it on the floor of the House. Monday we'll do the floor test. Why are you running away? Point number 2. Dhokla se I remembered. Today you speak about your morals and your values. Out of the 10 MLAs that you've taken in Goa, 5 are beef eating. Here you lynch people, there you take beef eating. But I don't want to trivialize this debate of how you've lost your way, direction, and you have. Ma'am, I never interrupted you. Kindly give me the same respect that I gave you. Kindly give me the same respect.
What do you mean by you lynch people?
Kindly give me the same respect. Now,
what do you mean by
I
you
think you're
lynch
moderating
people?
it. Kindly give me the same respect.
Kindly specify that particular
Ma'am, I cannot
line
yell.
when you
I cannot
say
yell.
you
Kindly,
lynch
ma'am,
people.
kindly moderate
This
it.
is
Thank
my
you.
humble
So
request to you.
So you have.
Kindly specify when you
So
say
you
you
have.
lynch
Why
people.
don't
What
you
is
have
the
a
question?
question so that we can move on?
No, I believe that, the problem is when you're only stuck in WhatsApp, university in WhatsApp, and you don't read actual newspapers, you don't know where lynching is happening, because the Honorable Prime Minister is on
You
record
are
saying.
Actually counted
You guys are the principal
who are
of
the beef.
WhatsApp
You've actually
University.
counted who are the beef eaters among the Congress.
5 of them are. 5 of them are. और मुझे sue करे ममता जी अगर मैं गलत कह रहा हूँ. 5 उसमें से beef खाते हैं.
No, but the BJP
और मनोहर पारीकर जी on record है कि गोवा में beef खाएंगे. And if there is no beef, we will import it. मनोहर पारीकर जी ने late. God bless his soul is on record.
Anyway,
I don't want to
that's
get into a
not the
trivial
point.
debate. I don't want to get into a trivial debate. I want to make a larger point. Ma'am, what Saurabh is saying is a very valid constitutional point. You see, in Goa, the Congress party, and I'm coming to your answer, went to the Honorable Speaker and said, look, 10 of these people are creating a problem. The Honorable Speaker sat on it. After that, recognized them and merged them into the BJP. We can't go to court because in Goa, the BJP says this is the sole domain of the Honorable Speaker in the Assembly, which is right. In Karnataka, they go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is giving this direction. हम करें तो राम लीला, आप करें तो character ढीला. ये क्या logic हो गया? My last point that I want to make. Rahul Gnadhi, sir, checkmated Amit Shah ji and created a government in Karnataka. Moral, immoral, I will not talk about Goa, Kashmir, all of that. He created a government, and today Rahul Gnadhi is not at the helm. The Congress is disintegrating. The same Rahul Gnadhi they said was useless today showed his worth. He's shown his worth. Now, if there's somebody who can rise from the Congress, that's the need of the hour. I hope that happens. That's what the captain has asked for. That's what Jyotiraditya has asked for.
It's actually about the entire opposition. But Geeta Bhatt, the point is, do you think that this in this entire effort to have a Congress Mukt Bharat, that there is a dangerous path that the BJP is treading on, in which there is an attempt to sort of take power by any and every means? Now, everyone is saying the next step or the next state to look at is Madhya Pradesh. So,
you see,
you know, where is this going to? Where is the red line?
Yeah. See, Nidhi, I think the idea of when someone says Congress Mukt Bharat, it is basically talking about the Congress culture. Because we know that, you know, for the past... Can I please?
But you are taking
justification.
Let her finish. Come on. Yeah.
Well, I think, I mean, you know, instead of mocking here, if you would have given, you know, some advice to the Congress party president and others, maybe they would have won some more seats. I don't need your advice. I do not need your advice. I am just putting forth my point, and please let me do that. So, it is, since they have ruled for the largest number of years, right from the beginning, you know, the kind of the political culture which developed in this country, where, you know, the kind of a feudal mindset and nepotism, you know, they were something which, that is what, you know, it kind of penetrated in all the other regional parties, which can, and most of them, you know, earlier this was only Congress party, and all the other parties which originated, they all somehow were related, you know, people who moved away from Congress at one time or the other. Now, the point is, one point that I want to make here is that in Telangana, 12 Congress MPs have moved to another party. Have they moved to BJP? My question is this. No, I don't think so.
The strongest force.
I don't think so. No, what I am trying to put forth, sir, please let me complete. What I am trying to put forth is that when there is a political party which is totally headless today, and somehow where it's something like a sinking ship, where their representatives themselves are feeling hollow, they do not know where to look up to, whom to look up to, and that is the reason that they are looking here and there for looking, you know, clinching into another political party.
To quickly say, can I just say something? I don't think politics is just simply about a power grab. It is the capacity to actually you know, seize transformation, and actually to that extent one has to give credit to the RSS and the BJP, because it's almost an 80-90 year project that has come to fruition in this 2019 mandate. Having said that, I do not think money muscle can be in any way competed with at the moment, or machinery with for the Modi government, against the Modi government, whether it's in Karnataka, whether it's in other states. So I think the opposition will have to rethink its strategy. It cannot just simply now physically go and stop these airplanes where these things are happening. It's going to have to go to ground zero and start. We should just actually smell the coffee and think that yes, for some time the BJP is going to be ruling in pretty much all the states in India, and from there on, as it were, the Congress or whatever other opposition parties are interested in pursuing politics in this country should start from there. And I think in that sense, actually the Congress has already shown initiative by actually getting, moving on from its leadership. What looks like a crisis, it is a moment of hiatus, it is a moment of transition. Who knows what's going to happen? Right, but it has. But it is unlike the Yadavs. It has not. They haven't. Look, I'm not defending the party. I'm just saying that it has at least...
For 7 weeks, they have struggled to even come up with a bunch of names for the Congress.
No. I think this is a mandate which combines, as it were, the one-party mandate or rule that that Nehru represented, plus on top of that, say, Mrs. Gandhi's personal charisma. So you have two kinds of very large forces representing in this mandate. And yes, I mean, this is stymied. It has certainly killed off politics as family business. So the Yadavs and so on.
It's not.
They will have
so many regional parties.
I'm not talking about dynasty, but I'm talking about the party as a family firm, which is what some of these regional parties have been doing, has gone. Because actually what juncture are we at? We are at a bipartisan juncture, which is unequal.
Fundamental political transformation in India.
Which is in terms of power, it is unequal. But in terms of ideology, it is not unequal.
But Ashutosh, let's talk about regional parties then and get away from the Congress for a minute. They've clearly, there are some of them who've held out. We've seen the way the TRS has performed, or the DMK. Mamata's still fighting, but it's a tough fight for her. But the fact is, they're also shrinking. They're struggling to hold their own in this Modi wave? Do those caste dynamics matter anymore the way that they did, for all these decades, given the way we've seen SP, BSP and RJD in particular fall?
See, I'm not very pessimistic about this, because I'm sure that Mamata Banerjee and the TRS and the Stalin and in Karnataka and in Kerala, there are the political parties who are fighting and fighting it hard. The BJP has to change its color to get itself acceptable, accepted by these regional aspirations, because the regional aspirations are very different.
But in the Hindi heartland,
yeah,
the fact that these parties are down.
In Hindi heartland, if you just take UP out, Madhya Pradesh, where is the regional force? There is no regional force. In Rajasthan, there is no regional force. In Chhattisgarh, there was a regional force, but that is a non-entity. In Himachal Pradesh, there is no regional force. In Punjab, there is a regional force. But the point is, the larger question is in Maharashtra. Shiv Sena is again on the other side. What is the bigger issue? The bigger issue is whether these political forces who claim themselves as regional parties, are they real political parties or not? They are more or less like a warlords. That they are the dynast. It's not a political party in the real sense, and that is a real danger. Take the example of Akhilesh Yadav. Why Akhilesh Yadav is finding himself paralyzed? Because Akhilesh Yadav has not worked hard the way Mulayam Singh Yadav has worked hard, and that time Mr. Modi is very right.
Why is Maywati paralyzed?
No, Maywati is not paralyzed. She got 10 seats, and Maywati still got 20% vote share in UP. She's still got
vote share.
And she's active on the ground. She's active on the ground. She's declared that she'll contest election on all the 12 by-elections. The issue is that because Maywati has come out, has become a leader on her own way through struggle, through drill. Akhilesh Yadav has not done it. Tejwaswi Yadav has not done it. That's the real danger. That's the problem with Rahul Gnadhi also. Rahul Gnadhi has not gone through the drill. From now onwards, if Rahul Gnadhi has to emerge and make Congress relevant in Indian politics, he has to emerge, he has to fight, he has to be thrown into the jails and lathis and all that. So is that the new
idea, Saurabh Bhardwaj, that Shruti Kapila was talking about what the opposition needs to do to reinvent itself? You all got 0 seats in the Lok Sabha in Delhi.
I think
what are you doing to change the way the AAP is?
Frankly, I believe that we are overestimating BJP.
Yeah.
And I think yes, I'm telling you, the way BJP is acting today, if you are a good player, you will never come down to cheating to win a game. The way BJP is desperately trying to buy MLAs and grab power in each state, it shows they don't have any idea what they'll do in next 5 years. They are desperate, and they don't want anybody to talk about it. They have a lot of money. You cannot. I sympathize. You cannot hold your MLAs if you have so much of money. You have to be very attentive. We are a small state. We are a close-knit family. We could have done it, but it is difficult for a big party like Congress to hold their house together when they are offering 50 crores. 50 crores is huge. You can imagine where did they get this money from? This is so they are desperate for power, and I think people will realize it. And this Akhilesh Yadav and all going out and all those things, I think it's okay.
I think somebody has to put up a fight, no?
Frankly, I think it's okay for for a month or for 4 weeks they are going out, because
Mr. Modi and Amit Shah have already started membership drives for the next election.
I just want to add one.
You have to be like them.
I want to add one small point over here, and that is that I think what is lacking in the opposition, like whenever someone asks about their debacle, somehow they do not want to acknowledge that they have lost support base among the people. That is why they could not get any seats. And for example, Aam Aadmi Party, in the previous Delhi election, they won 67. Is it that it was the money power? No. It is just that at that time they could actually convince the people of the constituency that they are the right people, and that is why they got voted to power. Now just because the tables have turned, now putting it on money power. And one small point I want to add is that when political parties after the election, if they have lost, what is happening? They are saying that our spokespersons are not going to come, and sit on the TV channels and answer questions, tough questions which are going to be asked to them. I mean, why is no one asking that? Isn't it that they are trying to run away from asking these questions and acknowledging that yes, they have been defeated? I mean, they will be able to come out stronger. We do need a strong opposition. A vibrant democracy always needs a strong opposition. I totally agree with it, but it has to be an opposition which thinks in a constructive way, and for which it is important that they need to first of all acknowledge that what are the shortcomings within them. If they are not able to do that, it will be very difficult
the point that
having
Geeta
a
Bhatt actually
convincing
made earlier was
opposition.
actually even more
A
interesting.
bought-out opposition
That
is
Congress
always a
Mukt
constructive
Bharat
one.
isn't just about obliterating the Congress politically from states, but about fighting against a certain idea that the Congress represented, and it's an ideological fight where ultimately you replace that sort of Congress ideology, which they see as feudal and entitled, with frankly what is their version of nationalism and majoritarianism.
Yet every single question you asked him, every single question on illegality and immorality, they said Congress नहीं करता और कोई जवाब नहीं था. Congress did this, so we are doing this. कल ये कहेंगे emergency भी इंदिरा जी ने लाई, इसलिए हम मोदी जी ने emergency लाई. I am making a prediction, but let's not go there. So Congress Mukt Bharat will not happen. Now please may I? Ma'am said the opposition parties lost the support base. Yet less than a week after the Lok Sabha results in Karnataka, the Congress swept the local polls. Less than a week after it. Again, I read this on NDTV, it's not WhatsApp news. How? So, there is a question of fractured mandate as we go back to Saurabh of what is not being fair play. Let me take this a step forward. I spoke about those audio tapes. In those audio tapes, the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, present Chief Minister, is on record saying that the audio tapes, when I've heard them, Yadurappa ji saying Devendra Fadnavis is also involved. Devendra Fadnavis, he's the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. These MLAs are in Mumbai. Now, I want to ask one single question before I move to my last point. Under what law was DK Shriv Kumar thrown out of Mumbai? You didn't allow him to enter the hotel, I understand. There was 144, I understand. Under what law could you throw him out? Is there martial law in our country? You threw out the guy out of a city. He's gone to court is another thing. And I want to end by saying, when Saurabh was making his point, I saw Mamata ji laughing. I saw her laughing at, in an arrogant manner at the point he was trying to make about the AAP leadership. I just want to tell you, Mamata ji, chahate, shorate, izzate, ulfate. चाहते शौहरते इज्जतें उल्फतें सब कुछ इस दुनिया में रहता नहीं. आज कांग्रेस से जहां कल कोई और था, आज कांग्रेस से जहां कल को और था, आप दो पे थे. ये भी एक दौर है, वो भी एक दौर था. वक्त सबका बदलता है. बी हम्बल, घमंड रावण का भी टूटा था.
एक छोटा सा शेर मेरी तरफ से आपके लिए, एक छोटा सा आप सुन लीजिए. कुछ चीजें जो आपकी हैं, you keep saying that हमारा सब कुछ ठीक है, then you should you should see Rajasthan, the infighting between Gahlot ji and Sachin Pilot. You should see what is happening between Kamal Sahab and your Sindhia Sahab. Please see all of that. And दूसरा आपके लिए कांग्रेस पार्टी के लिए एक सुंदर सा शेर मैं आपको दे रही हूँ कि ना खुदा ही मिला ना विसाले सनम, ना इधर के रहे ना उधर के हम. तो आप लोग तो अपने घर के ही नहीं रह पाए हैं, तो आप बाकी क्या करेंगे? तो आपको तो प्रणाम है साहब.
But wonderful shares. But Tehseen ji, what I want to ask you is the point that Ashutosh raised about, the structure of our opposition parties and our regional parties today also. The problem, the common thread he described between Rahul Gnadhi and Akhilesh and Tejwaswi of three young leaders here who haven't actually struggled in the way that, those that they succeeded did in order to build these parties. And is that also part of the problem? I keep saying this, you can't just keep pointing fingers at the BJP and saying, you guys are unfair, you're taking our people away. Where is the leadership? Where is the leadership in the opposition?
Of the three leaders that you mentioned, two I've had the privilege of knowing a little bit personally. And I know on a personal level, they're very, very hardworking people. That may not perceptionally be true, but I know personally they work extremely hard. However, they have failed. History only remembers winners, and I totally understand that. But the fact of the matter is that all three of them did give it their best. Now, I go back to what ma'am said, that the Congress and the opposition need to go back to the past. I agree with her larger point of morality. We come from a country and a tradition where Bal Gandharva Tilak was told about sedition charges and he said, Swaraj is my birthright, I shall have it, throw me in jail. Where Gandhi was told one anna bail. He said, I don't accept your leadership, put me in jail. Where Nehru spent 15 years in jail, didn't write a love letter and say, apologize, Queen is great. That is the leadership. We need to go back, and that fight, I'm not saying that fight, that spirit of fight, that fightmanship must come. I saw glimpses of that in the current Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi. That spirit must be there. And I want to make one last point. When you talk about what is the leadership or what about these small parties, Delhi, they don't even have the police force. Just today I was reading, the Delhi High Court, if I'm not mistaken, Saurabh correct me, lambasted the police for framing a false charge against a ruling party MLA today. I mean, your MLAs are being framed by Modi ji's police. Is this a level playing field? I leave this for your audience to ask. This is the High Court today.
See, I think the Mamata Kale and the Geeta is very happy that the people from the Congress party is joining BJP. But
No,
they
I'm
are
not
forgetting.
happy about
no,
it.
they are,
I'm
they are,
sorry.
they are, they are forgetting
I'm
one
sorry,
point.
I'm not
that the
happy.
BJP is an
Ashutosh ji,
ideological
please
party, and BJP
don't say
used to
that.
talk hugely about ideology. Now these people who are leaving their own political parties, and what is the guarantee that they will leave tomorrow? This is exactly happens with the Congress party, and the BJP is committing the same mistake. These people are power hungry. The minute they'll say BJP is weak, they'll walk out to, they'll walk to some other political parties. I think the huge mistake BJP is making by taking these people, instead of their local cadres should be given, should be encouraged, they should be provided political space, and people should be picked from there, not these people who are just...
That's an interesting point. So let me come to the last question, which I do want to ask all of you. Shruti Kapila, is Narendra Modi unbeatable? Or is that a myth?
I mean, I don't think he's unbeatable because we live in a democracy. So, I mean, he's going to be
Partial
tested.
democracy.
And no, I disagree. I mean, I think this is one of the things one has to do.
Did
One
he
has
call it
to
a Russian democracy?
Partial.
I think we have to accept the mandate and for what it is, and actually respect the electorate for what it has chosen. So I don't think he's unbeatable. I do think that the opposition needs a good new idea. It needs to reboot. It needs to actually let this kind of politics of power play itself out, and actually go to the basics, whether it was the 1910s or the 20s, when even the Congress at that time faced a lot of a crisis, when Gandhi remade the Congress. And I think actually this is a wonderful opportunity for India to revive new ideas.
Is Mr. Modi unbeatable? Actually, he's not. I mean, the last 5 years he did lose a lot of states, but with this massive mandate, do you think it makes him invincible? Or is that a mistake to assume that?
The present Prime Minister of our country, I think we all panelists will agree that he is someone who is very, very popular, and there are reasons for it, that someone who is a brilliant orator, and someone, whose actions have matched his words, and that is the reason that people, voted for him in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. However, contrary to that, the opposition does not have any leadership face. There is no collective leadership, there is no individual leadership also.
You think he's unbeatable?
You see,
yes,
there is, what do we understand by saying that someone is unbeatable? As long as the people of this country are, are with his leadership, he is unbeatable, no doubt about it.
Erdogan in Istanbul, I mean, who would have thought?
I think this country has seen a lot of prime ministers and a lot of rulers who have ruled this country as kings for years. But we will remember only few of them for their good deeds. Prime Minister Modi may rule this country for another, let's say, 5 years or so. But I thought that probably this term he will become a kind of a statesman, where he'll show good deeds, do moral things, and he'll try to get some space in the history. But by doing Karnataka, Goa and all kinds of things, I think he'll not be remembered in the history. He may rule for 5 years, but nobody will remember him fondly.
Mamata?
See, when we talk about whether Honorable Prime Minister is unbeatable or not, yes, he is unbeatable. Why? His hard work is unbeatable. His honesty is unbeatable. His love for the country is unbeatable. His dedication towards the people of India for serving the people is unbeatable.
That's not my question. Electorally, is he unbeatable?
His personality is unbeatable.
So Gandhi was very loved.
He, as a leader for people who love him so much, is unbeatable. So he, as a leader, is a Yug Purush, and he will remain one for sure.
Ashutosh ji?
See, nobody is unbeatable. Now it's Modi's time, so obviously people will think that he's unbeatable. But I think Modi is committing the same mistake which Mrs. Gandhi committed the mistake. And the greatness of Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Lal Ke Sadhwane, despite me being a very hard critic of them, was that when they were at the helm of the affair, they were a galaxy of leadership. You take leaders from each state. Start from Maharashtra, there was Gopinath Munde, there was Pramod Mahajan. In UP, there was Kalyan Singh, there was Rajnath Singh. In Rajasthan, there was Bhairav Singh Shekhawat, there is Vasundhara Raje Scindia. In Madhya Pradesh, there is Sundarlal Patwa, there is Kailash Joshi, there is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, there is Uma Bharti. In Himachal Pradesh, there was Shanta Kumar and there is somebody else. Now you move anywhere, go anywhere. In Bihar, they did not have a big leader, and that's why they suffered longer in Bihar. It's still not a major political party.
So you're saying that cult of personality.
Now I ask you a question, Nidhi. Do you remember the name of Chief Minister Himachal Pradesh? Do you remember the name of Chief Minister Uttarakhand? You don't.
Because
people used to remember Major General Khanduri. People used to remember Mr. Koshyari, Bhagat Singh Koshyari. Now the problem is, it's not only there is subversion of institution at the national level, all the institution, but within BJP there is only two leaders Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, there is no third. Anybody can become the finance minister in this country, anybody can become a defense minister in this country, and anybody can become a chief minister in this country. This will not go on because Mrs. Gandhi committed the same mistake. Mrs. Gandhi destroyed syndicates and the top chhatraps in the states, and look where Congress is.
सही बात है वैसे एक गरीब इस देश में अगर देश का प्रधानमंत्री बनता है तो कोई भी कुछ बन सकता है और यही सबको प्रॉब्लम है.
In my most favorite book, the Mahabharata, Vyasa writes that Krishna goes to Duryodhana, who has everything, and says, 5 gaon chhod do inke liye, Pandav, 5 gaon, just leave 5. Karnataka, Uttarakhand, me, I want the greed. And yet, Maharati the Duryodhana ke team mein, kya hota hai? Ultimately, Duryodhana had not broken any law. Duryodhana was also very loved. He had not broken a single law. Ultimately, withering on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The question asks, the Mahabharata asks, is only legality important or even morality? Hitler was also a great orator, man. Hitler also won an election. So is Erdogan. But see what happened in Istanbul. See what happened. When the people rise, there will be no stopping when an idea whose time has come. You cannot stop.
Problem is that you cannot accept that a poor man has risen to become the Prime Minister of India.
Gowdaji was
this
poor.
Is the problem.
There were
This
a lot of
is the
poor.
problem. A tea seller has gone on to become the Prime Minister of India.
Duryodhan also played the victim
with the
card.
people
I want to tell you.
read
the Mahabharata.
You of course chose to make the Hitler analogy right at the end of the show.
Duryodhan also played the victim card.
All throughout
All right. I think the politics of the last few weeks has clearly demonstrated that there is a serious crisis that opposition parties are facing, not just because the BJP is jumping down their throats, but also because they need to reinvent their politics and how they deal with the BJP. This story isn't over yet. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us. Good night.